Bullshit.
It's the No Bullshit Marketing Show. I'm Dave Mastovich, CEO and founder of Mass Solutions, the world's only no bullshit marketing firm. I just read an article that I know is going to help you in your ongoing quest for growth, personal, professional, and for your company. The article was in Inc. magazine online and written by Justin Bariso. It's titled, Why Leaders Like Jeff Bezos Embrace the Rule of Writing. Real interesting stuff that starts off by explaining how when Jeff Bezos or a team member had an idea of something new and creative, they would have someone on the team write a memo that could be up to 6 pages long in narrative form. Now, Bezos said that when someone took about a week or so to do that was best. Doing it in a day or two didn't quite get to where it needed to be. Why? Because Bezos felt that when someone wrote the first draft and then ruminated on it, updated the second draft, pondered it, and then maybe finalized it over 7 days, the quality of the communication was stronger. But get this, what Bezos did after that was so interesting is he would take the memo and at the next meeting, the first 20 minutes of the meeting, everyone had a printout of the memo and had to reread it and write their notes in the margin and their thoughts and their questions down. Now that's one of the many reasons why Jeff Bezos is the huge success he is and the impact he's made on the world. He had the courage to do something that was uncomfortable for him and that group. I'm thinking if I came in and gave my leadership team a memo and said, the first 20 minutes of the meeting, we're going to read this and write notes in the margin, I can see some people are already looking at their phones. I can see some people fidgeting and getting up and leaving the room and doing whatever. But Bezos had the courage to say, no, I'm going to do this. And what he found happened was, because the memo was well written and because they took the 20 minutes, they were able to bring tremendous clarity to the issue, the idea, and propose solutions around it. The author, Justin Bariso of the Inc. article, calls this the rule of writing. And what he said is that when you want to remember something, most of us know we write it down. We try to write things down to remember it. But writing things down does a couple of other things. There's 3 things that the rule of writing does. First, it clarifies our thinking. When we're forced to write things down, a couple of things happen. We call this the Google rule here at Mass Solutions when we say, if you have a question, Google it because you might find the answer or a better question. Well, what the rule of writing takes it to the next level is when you write something down, it clarifies your thinking. The example he gave was, we often have an idea that we want to talk about with a colleague. We go to tell them, and they look confused because we stammer, we aren't quite able to articulate it because we haven't written it down. But if we take the time to write down what our idea is and what we're thinking, we change our whole process because we've clarified our thinking. So then when we talk to our colleague or our teammate or our boss, we're that much clearer. They can then contribute instead of looking at you like, what's he even trying to say? And that's what happens far too often, that ideas get lost because we haven't written it down to clarify our thinking. But the second thing that it does is it actually improves understanding, memory, and application. When we're writing things down, we are getting clearer and it clarified our thinking, but it also helps us when we're giving that to someone else to be able to look at it. It helps us with memory because we wrote it down and the science shows that we're able to remember things more after writing it down. And it helps when we try to apply that to whatever we're doing. And the third part of the rule of writing is it improves communication. When you look at how we communicate, this whole process of forcing us to write gets us into a situation of thinking much more clearly. For this show today, I wrote some notes on a piece of paper, wrote an outline out, because it forced me to think, how do I want to present this to the loyal no BSers out there? Well, when you do that, it helps clarify your thinking like it said there, but it helps improve how you wrote that. It helps with your memory, and it helps others to take it away more. the thing is, we fight it. We fight writing things down because we're in an electronic society and we're used to typing on a keyboard and we're used to reading on a computer screen or an iPad or a phone. And I'm saying, okay, at least if you're taking the notes in your phone and thumbing along and building the outline or building what you're going to say, that's better than not practicing it through writing. But when you actually take the act of writing to pen to paper and you build an outline of what you're going to say and you put some meat behind it and substance behind it, you will scratch and change things and move things. But that whole process scientifically helps you to remember it. It helps you to communicate it. It helps you to apply it. So the rule of writing is something that Jeff Bezos instinctively applied. And look how the impact that's made for him and us. But I'm just thinking of that meeting when he went in and had them for 20 minutes rereading a memo that was written over the course of 7 to 10 days that was up to 6 pages. I have one colleague, a client, who scans everything, and he's brilliant, super talented. And I say to him, there are times when you need to read more and write more. And when he gets that, he's going to go even more and grow even more because he's already doing fantastic. But it comes down to realizing that what you think is old school or what you think is wasting time, things like writing and reading, are huge for your ability to think and process, your ability to clarify your thinking, your ability to communicate with others, your ability to make it memorable and applicable for others. So the article closed with saying the next time you want to learn, understand, remember, apply, and communicate. Learn, understand, remember, apply, communicate. Anytime you want to do any of those 5 things, take the time to write and leverage the power of the rule of writing. Thanks for listening to another episode of the No Bullshit Marketing Show, recorded here in our studio in bold, beautiful downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Remember, ask yourself, what's the big idea? And build your story around the answer. It's all about bold solutions, no BS.